Hey, it's me, Anna, the girl who randomly pops back up on your feed from time to time to talk to you about her mental health. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my experiences with Talkspace, which is an online therapy platform you might have heard of. This video is sponsored. Shout out to Talkspace. Thank you for helping me fund my life. Y'all know that I like keeping it real here, and brands know that before they reach out to me. So expect a thorough, honest review from my actual experiences with the platform. They actually require creators to use their app for at least 7 days before creating content and reviewing it. So I appreciate that because let's just say a lot of brands don't care about that. So anyway, let's go into it. So Talkspace is an online therapy platform that provides its users with confidential support from licensed therapists, the real deal, with an easy to use HIPAA compliant app. Which, you know, if you thought I just hiccuped there by saying HIPAA, I didn't. HIPAA is the law that helps protect your information as a patient when it comes to medical stuff. So we love that. I've tried a couple different kinds of therapy in my day, but I've never tried online therapy. So I thought, what the heck? 2019 was probably one of the roughest years of my life. And I knew going into 2020 that I was going to need some additional support. Talkspace seemed like an interesting thing to try out. I see Talkspace as a platform that's trying to dispel the stigma around mental health, especially for people who have never sought help for their mental health or don't even know where to begin. Speaking from experience, I know like it can be really rough to try to find the right therapist, to make sure they're compatible with your insurance, and then to go and show up to this thing and like not really know how it's supposed to go. And this can be even harder for people who maybe come from an environment or family that doesn't really talk about mental health or doesn't think that it's even worth seeking help over. So I joined on a Friday and I took a short intake survey saying like what areas I wanted to work in. And they matched me with somebody. I said yes to them and we started talking by Sunday, which was great, like a weekend, and we're going. I said that I wanted to work with a woman and I wanted to focus in depression, anxiety, and body image stuff. They showed me that person who matched my needs and I was able to say yes or to say no, I want more options, but she looked great. So there, we did it. And that was like the fastest experience I've ever had finding a therapist. The process all takes place on their app or their website. For me, I prefer using their website when I'm like talking to my therapist because when I have a lot to say, I really like to just like type on a laptop. I can't really do that on a keyboard on my phone. But I will say that their app is really great for like tracking your clinical progress, which like shows you like short-term and long-term goals as you decide on with your therapist. It schedules regular assessments so that you can make sure you're on track to meet those goals. And it also has like these like little videos and tips on how to like work on things like alleviating stress, what to expect from therapy, coping mechanisms, stuff like that you can work on like in between talking to your therapist, which I thought was pretty cool. So when you're in the app, you see this timeline to the left and it shows basically the process of therapy and it breaks everything out by these steps and it explains how long each step is going to take, what to expect from each step, which I found really helpful to be able to like monitor how it's supposed to go. Then there's this big chat box where you can talk to your therapist. And when you're done sending your messages, there's a button that you hit that lets the therapist know that it's their turn to respond. You get unlimited messages with each plan, and you can select other plans that also include live video messaging. You can send them photos, videos, voice messages, basically whatever you need to do to create a more customized, personalized therapy experience that works for you. One thing that I really liked about Talkspace was that this online therapy platform format really made me have to like think about what I wanted to say and then like actually write it out. I've always been the kind of person who likes to write down my thoughts. I've always been an avid journaler until this year. Like things got really hard and I actually couldn't really face a piece of paper with like what I was thinking. So I found it really helpful that this got me writing again. And, there's just something about like having to type out how you're feeling that helps, like, at least with me, like it helps me process my emotions and really have to think about like what I want out of this work that we're doing together. The thing I found kind of difficult with Talkspace was actually keeping up with the conversation, which is maybe a good problem to have. My therapist would respond to me within like 3 hours if it was during business hours, or at least by the next morning. If not, I tried to respond then as fast as I could because I wanted to get the most out of my experience, right? And because of that, it was kind of like emotionally difficult to keep popping in and out of like a therapy mindset throughout the day while I was like trying to work and stuff. I'd be like working on something and then I'd have to like go from like professional mode to like a more emotional mode, which I mean, let's face it, that's like those worlds aren't too different for me, but I don't know. I found that kind of difficult. And maybe this is more of a specific problem for me because I do work really flexible hours and I work for myself and stuff, so I can like basically dictate my own schedule and I can like respond to, a message on Talkspace throughout the day if I wanted to. So I think if I were to do this again, I would definitely like try to reserve certain times of the day to talk to the therapist compared to a in-person therapy session where you kind of know that you have this 1 hour once a week to go and like do some maybe like more emotionally taxing sort of work. You know that that's like the time and the place for it, and then you can kind of leave and like go back to your life. Not to say that like I don't think of like what I want to say in therapy and I don't think about those emotional things throughout the week. But with something like this, like, I mean, you can really pop in and out of it as you please. And you just got to kind of like think about that when you're structuring this sort of work and make sure that you are in the right time and space to do that kind of work. That said, it was cool to be able to like bring up things as they happened like throughout the week and not just have to wait for that 1 hour like session once a week. That always feels like too short and like cut short. I appreciated that. So like if I was having a really rough day or if like I was experiencing a rough patch, I could reach out and get like basically on-demand support for what I need. And that was really cool, and I've never experienced something like that before. Personally, I really liked having that extra support throughout the week. Like usually I just have my one in-person session with my therapist, and it really does always feel like not enough. So it was nice to be able to get that additional support and to be able to pop in when I was having a rough day, and get that support. So I thought that was really cool. I like love the future. We haven't talked pricing yet, and that is something I wanted to get to. Talkspace online therapy is actually 80% cheaper than face-to-face therapy, which is wild. They have several payment options to choose from. They have plans as low as $260 per month, which is, an unlimited messaging, hearing back from your therapist on a daily basis, and you don't even need insurance. And I got something special for y'all. You can get $150 off your first month using my code Russett, so definitely take advantage of that. So that's the gist of Talkspace. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have ever tried online therapy before. Like, how did it go for you? What was your experience like? Or let me know if you're going to try this out. I'd be really curious to know who's interested. So thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves out there. I'll be trying to too. And hopefully we can talk again very soon.